Hey, it's Raven Scry here. Today I'm sitting here. It's a very cold, windy, icy day. I've got the heater on. You can probably hear it. And yeah, I'm just sitting here feeling to connect in and give a reading about the month of June and anything that needs to be shared or shown, any guidance from Spirit that wishes to come through. Now, I've already done a June reading for the crypto space, which I know there was a lot of challenging things coming up in that reading, and I feel as though we are kind of seeing that now. But as many of you know, this is not only crypto that I connect into, but the larger collective energies and what's going on our planet with all of us on it. So yeah, today I'm just going to connect in with Spirit and just see anything they wish to share collectively for the month of June. We're about halfway through June, so we're just going to dive in and go with that. So before we start, I hope you've all been well. I know I've been a bit absent. There's been a lot going on in my life, and the loss of a family member, which has actually really been hard and sad and just, very much pain in the heart. So that's why I haven't been that active, but I'm still there, and I'm still with you guys, and I still really love and appreciate you all, and that you're with me and with all of us in connectedness around the globe. It means a lot to my heart. Okay, so I'm just going to get into it, connecting into energies in June that need to be spoken about. Now, firstly, I'm becoming aware of an energy of beginning. It's like we're at there's an end stage to something. Something has just like almost broken apart, fallen apart, an ending, and there is this light of this beginning, and there is these seeds. It's like I'm offered these seeds, these little seeds, and really they've started to sprout, these seeds, and they're little seedlings. But within that, there's difficulty that comes in from, to this little seedling, in that it's not an easy place to be at when we're starting something new, starting something fresh, and really developing that energy to grow into a full tree, essentially, or a full being. It's like the early stages, the beginning stages, are so tender, are so delicate, and need to be, taken with such care, and this feeling of not rushing, not sort of rushing ahead or trying to make something happen or having a deadline. It's like it's kind of needs intuitive guidance here. There needs to be a flow and an intuition and a gentle knowing of what needs to be coming next. So in saying that, there is this offering of new life, this beginning, but a lot of it seems like it's not, how we don't know what's coming next. It's like, but I want to know, I want to know what's here, what's coming, what I should plan for. But really, it's like Spirit pushes me back and is like, no, this time is a gentle time, and the moves that we make need to be made with clarity and care. And it's not about the amount we move, or it's not about, doing things many times. It's about the choices of these movements. And these choices are, even if there's one choice, it's like, if it's taken with care and coming from the heart, that's the sort of movement that we want to make. And if there's not clarity around those movements, we certainly need to come back to ourselves and our own hearts and be still and in the present moment. So I'm feeling like, that there is a great deal to come, but it's almost as if there's a storm that we're in as we kind of end, because I feel as though there's this cross of this ending of this cycle as we move into this fresh new cycle. So it's like there is this storm coming down, coming down into the ending, breaking things down. But there is these little seedlings that are actually formed and are growing in amongst that storm. So this crossover period of this time is not easy to navigate. And, you know, at times these energies are going to actually feel to be too much, you know, too rough. It's like a little child, you know, putting them out in the rain to kind of fend for themselves. You know, it's like, it's too much. You know, they need the care of, okay, we're going to make sure that you don't get too wet, or we're going to make sure that, you know, you're taken care of. It's like we need to nurture these seedlings. And it's like it crosses over from seedlings into like a child. It's like we need to nurture these parts and be gentle and slow. And it feels very connected to the childlike energy. It feels very connected to the beginnings of, you know, cycles, but within that, you know, of birth, of childlike energy. So within these seedlings, they're like not even 1 year old, and we have to take care of these times in our lives as if they are like these little children, like these little seedlings. And we can't throw them into this kind of intensity and, you know, expect too much from them, because it's a gentle time. And although it may not seem gentle externally from this ending that's taking place within this beginning, that's why we need to take extra care and not act too hastily as we move forward with the things that we may choose to move forward with and the decisions that we make. So within all of that, I feel as though, you know, there is many clues that are presenting themselves at this time. And it's like gentle nudges with little reminders of where you're heading. But in saying that, you know, it's like there is this, and I get this visual. It's interesting. I did a reading for someone earlier, and there was the similar visual, but it's coming in here too, so I'm going to offer this. But I get this visual of like we're in the darkness, and, you know, we can't see very far ahead of us, and it's like there's whispers of possibilities that come through, and they're giving us clues of how to move forward, but we can't see that far ahead. But we are being nudged with these little clues and little possibilities and little reminders to put us into perspective, to be able to face these next elements of the journey, of the roads that we're traveling on. So really, it's like allowing yourself to listen to all of these little things that are coming in, and they may be very small, but just one thing that comes into you may be exactly what you need for you to acknowledge that, okay, I need to be gentle and take things one step at a time. Because it's a very sensitive transition, and a sensitive transition of energies that are changing. But there's a great deal of crossover. It's like where one frequency meets another frequency. It's like, and they're not aligned. It's like it creates disturbance and chaos, essentially. So within this chaos, we have to maintain our center points and know that it's the early stages of something quite amazing to come. But we are in these little, you know, we are in a period that is, or can appear or feel like darkness. And, you know, you don't want to do too much craziness out into the night, depths of the darkness, because you can't really see. So it's like just taking that gentle care at this time is very important. Now, I feel as though as we move forward through this time, there is this powerful moment that is coming, that is essentially a change, but it is triumphant, and there's enough energy with this change to break through. It's like this little seedling has had enough light and enough care to grow into the next phase of what it is. And there's a great deal of strength here, and it feels very renewed in the way that the energy's coming in. It's like, it's also, within it, it's like there's also an acknowledgement of how hard the past has been, but there is a sense of overcoming that is coming in here. It's like you've overcome and you've worked with what's been given to be able to move into the next stage, and move into this next stage with a sense of passion and achievement, and not to be too heightened or, egoic in any way. It's just like moving into this next stage, reaching goals and being like, yes, I've done it. Being proud of yourself, but acknowledging everything that you've gone through. It's like there is this beautiful change that is taking a lot of energy from you, and a lot of understanding of your own self and your own depths of who you are and how you work, essentially. It's like there's a renewed knowing of who you are, and working with places within yourself that may have been difficult, but somehow you've navigated through these places and are seeing the rewards of this. And really, it had to be as hard as it had been. I feel as though we're a little bit in the future here, but we're looking back. It's like it had to be this hard for the development, and for the integration of what you've had to work with, these different tools. And this can be certain things that have happened in life. This can be circumstances. This can be, made up of so many elements of your story, and it can span into whole other lives. It's like themes that we carry along with us, and gifts that we carry along with us through these themes, and ways in which we work with all the essential tools that we collect along our path. So it's like we're understanding now how to work with these tools, and it's like, oh wow, I've got this tool and it does this, rather than it just sort of sitting there and not really being able to use the tool, or not really, what does that tool do? It's like, no, I know how to use that tool now, and actually I can put it with this tool and we can do this. So there's all this connectedness that's taking place within your own learning and your own experience of what you've been through. And essentially it's showing us here that there is beautiful progress and development and expansion, and learning who you truly are, as you evolve as a human. So it feels very exciting these times, and what you're working with now, it's just like they're wanting to validate the difficulty here. Validate it, embrace it, allow it, surrender to it, because it is going to change, and you have the strength to move through this cycle. And it is the very early stages. They just really want to say it's the very early stages of something quite divine and quite new. So just be prepared and go gently, because beautiful things are coming, is what they're showing here. Now I'm just going to ask Spirit, is there anything more that they wish to share or show before I close the reading today? They talk about clearing up loose ends. They talk about, finishing something. It's like following through and finishing something. It's like, so if there is something in your life that you've just left hanging, it's like going back to it and completing it, because it's very important to support the change that's taking place. And so certain things don't pull over into this new cycle. I mean, we always have themes coming through lifetimes, essentially, that, will make their way through, but things that you are consciously aware of that are hanging around that perhaps need to be completed or forgiven or surrendered to, it is the time now to be sorting that out in amongst this transition period, because there's going to be a great deal of other things to be focusing on as we move forward. Okay. As I've been speaking, there's just rain is coming down. You guys can probably hear it, but there's just the howling winds. I feel as though it's really beautiful when the elements are with me in a reading, when nature connects. It always feels really special through these readings. And actually, when I've been doing these readings in nature, when I'm outside, I often feel quite a lot of resonance and inspiration when I do them to continue to do them, because it's like I'm walking inside a reading. Nature connects in such beautiful synchronistic ways. So that is something I'm being inspired in this moment to connect to again, and include you guys in, and feel very grateful that you're here with me and listening and connecting. And it's like a magical experience for me often, and I know I disappear in the ether, but I feel as though it's obviously meant to be like that at this time, or it has been. Anyway, there's a lot to think about in this reading, and I offer it with love, and I hope that you're all doing well wherever you are in the world. And if you feel to, please don't hesitate. Pop a comment below. How are you doing? How are you doing? It's often very helpful to kind of share within the community forum. And I know that, YouTube can be quite toxic within some of these comments that get put below. I'm just like, oh. And sometimes I don't know why people waste their time, but majority of the comments are beautiful people, which are you guys, and you're here and have been here for such a long time. And there is a connectedness here through the globe. And so if you put a connection in the comments, it's like it's the connection point, and it's very special. And your words are heard and taken in by the others. So, yeah, there's a magic in it. Anyway, if you feel to, share how you're feeling below. And I'll see you guys again soon. Take care. Raven Scry signing off.